All right, rebuttal evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Depp calls Walter Hamada of Warner Brothers.
All right, Mr. Hamada.
Okay. All righty,
Your Honor,
here
just
we
to
go.
clarify, this is by deposition, so we may need that.
Okay,
Okay, let's see it. This is the guy.
right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is the big dick right here, and he's going to explain what happened. All right, let's go. Let's see it.
What do you work for Warner Brothers Entertainment, Inc.?
Yes, I do.
In what capacity?
My title is President of DC-based film productions for Warner Brothers.
I'll give it a
What,
second,
if anything,
and if it's not
you
ready,
did
I'll go to
prepare
another place.
to testify for Warner Brothers as to
Where's the
topics
video?
2 through 18.
Where's the video?
I did not do anything to prepare for this, other than the meeting that I had with the attorneys.
Okay.
Did Warner Brothers have a contract with Amber Heard to perform in Aquaman 2?
Yes, there was we had an option agreement for her for Aquaman 2.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what it is?
It looks like a standard contract between an actor and the studio.
And which actor was involved in this? Which actor was a party to this contract?
Okay.
Amber Heard. It's a contract for Amber Heard for the role of Mara in Aquaman.
Chat
and
takes
it's
5
sequels.
seconds. Thank you.
Which studio contracted with Amber Heard?
Warner Brothers.
When did you come to be the president of DC?
At the beginning of 2018.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Hamada, was Ms. Heard ever released by Warner Brothers from the Aquaman 2 contract, or what you call the option agreement?
No.
Was she released from her Aquaman 2 contract on or about February 22, 2021?
No.
Was Ms. Heard ever rehired for Aquaman 2 by Warner Brothers?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, that certainly that certainly says a lot.
Did Ms. Heard receive a pay increase for Aquaman 2?
No.
Why not?
As a rule, as a company, we go through a lot of trouble when we make our deals with our actors. We get options on them for subsequent movies. And I think traditionally, prior to me joining the company, every option was renegotiated. And one of the things that we were trying to put a rein in on was not renegotiating every deal, with the understanding that people come in and make these deals and they have an understanding that there will be options and that there is a deal in place. And it was a big part of our philosophy.
They just
that
want to
we're
make
gonna
more
hold
money
people to their options moving forward.
They don't want to pay them more money. So fuck
Did
that.
Warner Brothers at any point in time reduce Ms. Heard's role in Aquaman 2?
The role in the film the size of the role in the film that she has was determined in the early development of the script, which would have happened in 2018, I would say.
Uh-huh.
So, and from there, beyond normal development, the role the character's involvement in the story was sort of what it was from the beginning.
So no.
Was her role ever reduced for any reason?
No, I mean, again, from the early stages of the development of the
All
script, the movie was built around the character of Arthur and the character of Orm, Arthur being Jason Momoa and Orm being Patrick Wilson.
Uh-huh.
So they were always the two co-leads of the movie.
Yeah,
Did
of course.
Warner Brothers ever plan to portray Ms. Heard as the co-lead in Aquaman 2?
No, it was the movie was always pitched as a buddy comedy between Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson.
It's going to be a good movie. It sounds great.
Ms. Heard cast in Aquaman?
Yes, she was.
Was Ms. Heard cast in Aquaman 2?
Yes, she was.
Uh-huh.
Was Ms. Heard paid for her services in Aquaman 1?
Yes.
Was Ms. Heard paid for her services in Aquaman 2?
Yes.
Was
Okay.
her compensation for Aquaman 2 affected in any way by anything said by Johnny Depp?
No.
Was her compensation for Aquaman 2
Wow.
affected by anything said by Adam Waldman?
No.
Okay.
Was her compensation for Aquaman 2 affected by anything said by anybody representing Johnny Depp?
No.
Well, that puts that to rest. Okay.
Was there any delay
Yeah.
in Warner Brothers exercising the option to cast Ms. Heard in Aquaman 2?
Yes, there was.
How long a delay was there?
I don't know, probably weeks.
Okay.
What was the cause of the delay?
There were conversations about potentially recasting.
Who was the producer?
Peter Safran.
Who was the director?
Oh
James Wan.
no.
Did Warner Brothers believe that those concerns were legitimate?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I had no reason
She's not
to
liking that
believe
at all.
the director and the producer of the movie.
Holy
And you are
shit.
testifying today as a representative of Warner, correct?
Yes, I am.
What, if any, creative concerns did Warner Brothers have about casting Amber Heard as Mira in Aquaman 2?
Good question.
It was the concerns that were brought up at the wrap of the first movie, production of the first movie, which is the issue of chemistry. Did the two have chemistry? I think editorially they were able to make that relationship work in the first movie, but there was a concern that it took a lot of effort to get there. And would we be better off recasting, finding someone who had better, more natural chemistry with Jason Momoa and move forward that way?
This is the guy
Did
that
Warner Brothers
that runs it. I
take
mean,
any steps affirmatively to audition other actresses
Oh,
for
that's a
the
good
role of
question.
Mira in Aquaman 2?
No, we did not.
okay.
Other than the creative concerns and concerns about chemistry you testified about, was there any other reason Warner Brothers delayed in picking up Ms. Heard's option for Aquaman 2?
Well, let's see.
No, it was all concerns about whether she was the right bit of casting for the movie.
Wow.
What role, if any, did
It's pretty definitive.
Ms.
I mean,
Heard's dispute with Johnny Depp have in Warner Brothers' delay picking up Ms. Heard's option for Aquaman 2?
There was none from our end.
yeah.
At any point in time, was Warner Brothers considering paying Ms. Heard more money for Aquaman 2 than is set forth in the option contract you previously identified?
No, as I said, we were determined to hold our actors to their option agreements.
I like how he smiled
Would
whenever he
Warner
said that
Brothers
too.
have paid Ms. Heard more
Yeah.
money on Aquaman 2
Oh
if it
shit.
had picked up her option earlier?
No,
At any time from
Yeah.
the beginning of history through today, did Warner Brothers ever release Ms. Heard from the Aquaman 2 contract?
no,
At any point in time from the beginning of history to today, did Warner Brothers rehire Ms. Heard for Aquaman 2?
Well, they.
no, because we just picked up her option.
And when is the
Oh,
last time
right.
you spoke with Rob Cohen
Okay.
relating in any manner to whether to exercise the option on Amber Heard for Aquaman 2?
Man.
No, it would have been the same time that I was having those conversations with Peter Safran.
So
Yep.
in 2020.
Did you speak with Zack Snyder
Sorry. I'm an idiot.
at all relating to whether to exercise the option for Amber Heard on Aquaman 2?
No, I've not had any conversations with Zack Snyder.
Did you speak at all with Jason Momoa in preparation for your deposition today?
Good question.
No.
Okay.
Have you ever spoken with Jason Momoa about any issues relating to chemistry between he and Amber Heard?
It's not only up to him.
Yes.
Oh,
When did you speak with Jason Momoa about chemistry issues between he and Amber Heard?
okay.
It would have been in that same time period where we were prior to green light of the movie.
Now, you were asked some questions about
Uh-oh.
scripts. Did you review any of the drafts of the script for Aquaman 2?
Yes.
When?
I part of my role is I read all the drafts of the scripts as they come in.
It's his job.
When was the first script for Aquaman
Yeah,
2?
it's his fucking job.
Oh boy.
Like, what do you expect? Yeah, obviously, it's his cell phone. Yeah, how do you even ask that?
Probably in 2018, latter part of 2018 would be my guess.
And how many versions of the script had been written by the beginning of 2021 for Aquaman 2?
Oh, there were probably half dozen drafts of the
Okay.
script.
That makes sense. Yeah, actual expert.
All right, what, if anything,
she's
did
not
Rob
used to
Cowan
that.
say to you about chemistry? What specifically about the chemistry between Amber Heard and Jason Momoa?
Just the fact that they didn't really have a lot of chemistry together. The reality is it's not uncommon on movies for two leads to not have chemistry, and that it's sort of movie magic and editorial, the ability to sort of put performances together, and with the magic of a great score and how you put the pieces together, you can fabricate sort of that chemistry.
That's very true.
And so I think at the end of the day, I think if you watch the movie, they look like they had great chemistry. But I just know that through the course of the post-production that it took a lot of effort to get there. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's very easy. You
Yeah.
just put the
And he does know.
characters on the screen together and they work.
'Cause he's the
And sometimes
boss.
it's harder. And so
Can you give me anything more specific about what it was with Amber Heard and Jason Momoa that was difficult for the chemistry?
no, because it's like what makes a movie star a movie star. Like you know it when you see it, and the chemistry wasn't there.
Now, you've used the term fabricated a number of times. What did you do to fabricate the chemistry
She's
between
not a star.
Amber Heard and Jason
Holy
Momoa?
shit.
Well, those are just it's editorial. A good editor and a good filmmaker can pick the right takes, can pick the right moments, and put scenes together. Again, score is a big, the music in a scene makes a big difference. It can make a happy scene feel sadder or a sad scene feel happier. And so it was sort of it's just the magic of post-production, editing, sound design, music,
sure.
etc.
That makes sense.
What do you mean by fabricating, though? I mean, were they literally falsifying, or were they just picking the best
The
music?
fuck?
Let me finish my question. Were they picking the best music and picking the best looks because that's their job and that's what you do on every scene?
That is what
kind
we
of a
do in
fucking question is
post-production.
that?
That's what filmmakers do. This is on any production. You're doing that. You're putting performances together. Sometimes it's easier than others.
Yeah.
This one was more difficult because of the lack of chemistry between the two. But they were able to. James Wan and the editor were able to get it to a place where the end result actually works, and it's great.
And in fact, that's the job of every filmmaker, right? Is to put all the
course.
combinations together to make the most successful production.
But that's
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what has been marked as exhibit number 5. It's ALH 18247.
yeah, right.
And this is a text message exchange between James Wan and Amber Heard. And you mentioned James Wan was the director of Aquaman 2.
He
is that
was.
correct? And Aquaman, the first one,
at
correct?
least, yeah.
That's correct.
All right. And James is texting to Amber on August 25, 2018, you rated really high with the audience, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Do you see that?
Yes.
This is August 25, 2018. What's going on August 25, 2018 that would cause the director to send a text message to Amber saying...
That'd be a test screening. So during our post-production of the movie, we test the movie with an audience, and the audience tells us what they liked and what they didn't like. And so that's what he's referring to there.
And they really liked Amber Heard, correct?
Yes, she did. She tested well.
It hit $1 billion, is that correct?
Yeah.
And more specifically, did you play any role in the determination to communicate to Amber's representatives that Warner Brothers was considering not exercising her option?
Yeah, probably in the sense of we had the conversations, and I believe, if I recall, we had that's where Peter Safran offered to reach out to the agent and express which direction we were leaning.
I love how
Have
she
you
tries to
seen
catch him.
any document
Yeah, of course he
that says
yeah.
there was any chemistry issues between Amber Heard and Jason Momoa
Document?
in Aquaman 1?
Documents? No, I mean, those were all conversations.
But if Jason came back and James Wan came back, you were guaranteeing that Amber Heard would play Mira, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And Jason Momoa was able to negotiate a different compensation structure. Was
he's
he
the
not
star.
for Aquaman 2?
That's true. He did renegotiate.
He's the star.
Now, Aquaman was the highest grossing DC film ever for Warner Brothers, was it?
Duh.
Yes, it was.
And what, if any, issues did you have with Amber Heard in Aquaman 2?
My understanding is actually the production went very smoothly.
Great.
All right, thank you. Your next witness.
Okay, well, I don't really know what to say there. I feel like that's kind of an open and shut case.
Your Honor, we call Dr. Colburn next, but I know we have a preliminary matter that we need to deal with briefly, if we may approach.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's obvious that that's the guy. I mean, of course. And like the funniest thing about it is the fact that like he just straight up went in and just he's like, yeah, of course I talked to her. Of course I know what happened. Yeah, it was conversations we had. They didn't like her. And yeah, the movie came out okay because, we edited it well. But everybody knew that, it didn't work out. And so we didn't want to have her again. Like, I love how he just... I think that like Elaine and like they're so used to dealing with experts that actually don't fucking know anything that whenever you actually bring on a guy who's an executive at Warner Brothers who, like this guy, he knows what the fuck he's talking about, right? This isn't some sort of like weird, this is what used to happen and yeah, I wrote this book. No, he just explains what happened. That's it. Yeah, he actually knows his shit because he's in charge of it. It's his fucking job. And he just explains what happened. Yeah, he's the president of it. And he's like, yeah, well, did you know that they communicated? Yeah, of course. I did it. Like, that's obviously what it was. And I find that to be executive. Yeah, he's not even executive. He's the president of the DC stuff. Exactly. And that would make sense, right? I think that there's a lot of people who, I don't like how, she tried to turn it into like, that's the job of every filmmaker to make chemistry look good on set. But it's like, but that's not really what he said, though. I mean, like, that's really not what was said. Like, that's, yes, obviously, it's their job to make it better and it's their job to improve it. But some people are polishing, a pearl and other people are polishing a turd. And that's just the facts. And it's a lot harder to polish a fucking turd. And that's the fact. Yeah, Amber just makes it way harder. Yeah. And they were like, man, we've got to work our ass off. We've got to do this a lot more than we usually do. And how does he know that? Because he works there. It's his job. Oh, did you read the script? Yes, I read every script. That's my job. Like... I love how she tries to get the president of Warner Brothers, DC, to like trap him in something to imply that he didn't do his fucking job. Like, it's so funny. Bleak with the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's another expert. Yeah, it's crazy how, you know, like Johnny Depp's expert witnesses, it seems like they're actually experts. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like they really know what they're talking about. That's what's so interesting, man. Something that's polishing the recast. Yeah, exactly. It's like Dwayne Johnson with Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious franchise. Well, I don't know exactly everything specifically, but yeah, I mean, sometimes people get recast and people don't really necessarily get along that well, and that's just the way things go. It's the actor's job to give the production crew as many good takes and angles as possible. If she didn't have chemistry and couldn't deliver, well, it was workable. I think that's really what it comes down to. But like, imagine you're on the production team and you have to deal with either 5 hours or you have to like completely rethink the way that you shoot the scenes, the way that you edit the scenes, because the chemistry is very clearly not there. Like, it's a completely different fucking thing, man. Strictly business from a person from his position. Love to see it, especially whenever she was asking gotcha Andy questions and statements. That's what I thought was really fucking funny, that she tried to hit him with a gotcha question. Yeah, that was like, oh, well, you didn't really know what happened, did you? It's like, well, yeah, actually I did. I said for it to happen. I looked at it personally. And that was about it. They clarified that Johnny had nothing to do with it. Yeah. Well, they clarified not only that Johnny had nothing to do with it, but that Johnny had nothing to do with it multiple times. It's not like this had happened in general. And again, like he just said, yeah, he talked to them and that's all there was to it. And even Nicolas Cage and the director both said they didn't feel the chemistry with Amber Heard in the Drive angry movie. I don't know about that. I mean, I have no fucking idea. Like, I remember the last time I watched a Nicolas Cage movie. I think it was whenever he stole the Declaration of Independence or something like that. It was quite a while. So, yeah, I don't know. They need to get another witness to pretend like they know why she was fired instead of asking the president. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what they were thinking to actually get the president on there. I mean, that's not going to work. The president knows what happened. You're only going to win if you can... See, the thing is, like, Amber Heard's team... they survive under implications because they can't use evidence because it doesn't exist. So what do they do instead? Well, they create implications, and that's what they do. They create an implication, and then they hope that the jury put the pieces together in the way that they want them to. That's about it. They got a drug addict that called all drug addicts. He's probably getting fired. Poor guy. Oh, that guy? Oh, that guy was just an asshole. I don't think he was a drug addict at all. Amber's being held accountable 1,000%. She's got to be fuming. Narcissists hate that shit. Well, I'm sure that it feels bad, okay? Like, I can empathize. Like, obviously, fuck Amber, right? But at the same time, I bet it fucking sucks to have it be televised to millions of people that there was no chemistry between you and the other actor, who is generally, Jason Momoa is generally very well liked, and on top of that, that they were just inches away from recasting you. You know, like, you were, like, your ass was on the line, and then at the end of the day, they were like, whatever, we'll just use her again. Use the facts if you have the facts, use the law if you have the law, but if you have neither, slam your fists on the table. Well, I think that what they're doing is that they're creating these implications, right? It's like, oh, this is what happened, whatever. What's this here? Why are YouTube viewers super chat the court? I have no idea. I don't even know how YouTube chat works. I think super chat is like a bit or things like that. Their future career wasn't burned before, it's torched now. Well, yeah, exactly. Because like now, like, it's like just by the nature of this case existing, well, now they literally have the president of Warner Brothers saying that she doesn't have chemistry with people, and then apparently Nicolas Cage said the same thing in another movie. You know, it's just not looking good. I think that's really all it comes down to. It's just really not looking good. They said, fuck it, let's keep her in because there wasn't anywhere close to being a main role for the second movie anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like, I wouldn't have recast her anyway. It's like, yeah, I mean, with like the accusations and everything, but it's an accusation. It's a lawsuit that's ongoing. What really happened? I mean, Warner Brothers is a business. They're not an advocacy group. They're just trying to make the movie. And so, yeah, they're like, all right, we're going to keep her in here. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? We're going to see what happens. Because also, like, this was like at the time, like years ago. So it's just, you can't compare it to like right now. Her not having chemistry with people is consistent with what the psychologist said about her. You're so wrong, Asmon. The lady yesterday said that Amber had great chemistry with Momoa and that she was on the rise as an actress. She wasn't on the rise. She was on the meteoric rise, okay? Like, the thing is, but what you have to remember is what did the meteor do on Earth, right? Well, it crashed. It crashed into the earth and it burned into a cinder. And I think that, yeah, you're right. It was a meteoric rise, and as they say, what goes up must come down. Yeah, that's the way it fucking goes. Shun Rise being clinically insane. I mean, it sucks, but there it is. It was all based off preliminary tests about chemistry and came after the movie during marketing and promotions. Exactly. Yeah, so it was a preliminary test. It wasn't even the opinion of the actual audience. It was a focus group, effectively. Let me go back over. Shit, my bad.
Recess now for 15 minutes. Do not discuss the case and do not talk to anybody, okay? Do not do any outside research. Sorry, that was the same thing.
She had a chance of riding the coattails and decided to poop on something. Well, why is that? It's because she's crazy. That's literally all there is to it. I don't think that's really a big surprise. I don't think anybody gives a shit.
Is that WebEx? Okay, so
okay, let me go back and see what this is.
Break as well. All right, we'll go ahead and take.
Okay, let me go back and look at the rest of these.
Okay.
Okay.